It's nothing like Weird Al. No, his intros.
Yeah. All about you. More important than the people trying to join the freeway.
Weird Al. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm leaving now.
Are you happy now?
Oh,
Hey, you got two
have
people
nothing but
more
so
important
much
than
respect
anybody
for that
else
for so
there.
many reasons. And
God, can't you be quiet?
I consider it kind of like marking my turn.
okay,
Yeah, because you don't put your hand over your mouth, that's for sure.
I do.
Do you?
Sure.
I'm into the crook of my arm.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. The old
That's what you're
server.
supposed to do, yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, who really cares about a volume of this? I mean, unless you're at some public event.
That's very reasonable.
Except use the word butt stuff.
Watch any Ryan.
Surprise!
So, hey, you know what? I got to be honest with you.
Damn.
I've started to have some feelings for you, and I would like to maybe try a relationship, a one-on-one thing. How do you feel about that?
Radicalized and all that shit. It just is. It's a stick in the eye. Everybody who's working.
Wow.
You know, Stevie, this
Now,
is that Tommy Dreamer?
he wasn't listening.
Oh my
The chair is
God.
wrapped.
I don't know. That
in
might be the only one I
fabric.
get for the week.
We're not sure what it is. It might.
Dude, that is not a. That was not a lane of travel. People really do love making that mistake.
Full force and making mistakes while they do it and expose it for what it is as well.
Then I think I know what the misdirect is. I think I know what they want you to look
Yep,
away
you're
from.
more important than anybody else here.
See?
People, I'm sorry, but iDubbbz was smoking crack if he thought he was going to sell 21,000 tickets to this event.
This entire
I'm
time,
genuinely
and
convinced,
you
and
pick
I'll
now
show you
to
why
move
in
over?
a second, that even if they just said, screw it, it's free, anyone can come, they still wouldn't sell out. They still wouldn't fill out this entire stadium. There's no way. I just don't think there's enough interest in this right now for the day, and as we've seen in this video, this was about flipping
Goose
over.
leaves.
But anyways, that's gonna do it for this video. That's the
I don't
latest
want to
set
run them
screen.
over
That's probably a very small chunk of what's actually
and have them
blue sky
get scooped up into my transmission or something.
pretty much
How long have you lived there? 7 years. Have you ever been up to the top of the Space Needle?
Oh boy.
I got married right underneath.
Oh
the
no!
Space Needle.
Don't tell me that one guy has to
I think for
sweep
2
the
and a while.
road. Oh, and I know how that feels too. I know how that feels. I had to sweep it down.
Yeah.
And
all
now it's
videos.
Yeah. I used to love the band.
Now, I grew up with showbiz.
Same things.
Well, so is it exactly the same thing?
One of them bought the other, and I'm not sure which way it went.
You know, you just, God bless these guys. They just take for granted.
Well, just cut a guy off like that. That's why you don't wait until the last second to change lanes.
Well, Doug, if you're just joining us, hi, how are you? This is the Bob and Tom program. We're coming to you from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios. I look over there, I see Christine at the Silac Insurance News Desk. What else is happening?
A man had one final laugh after getting buried in a Snickers-themed coffin.
They said, yeah, guitar wasn't feminine enough in the show. It has to be Toph.
Yeah, and Toph makes no sense. Right.
Wow,
She's
just.
being masculine. They literally
What
had
if
a guy player in
Blue Truck needs to leave?
Because everybody thought she was like a dude because that's
Right,
what she
right.
liked. She.
Hi.
Christy Lee, hello.
Hi.
Pat Godwin.
Hey.
Okay.
Let me sit up.
There's Jeff Hoskey.
Hello.
How you doing? I'm Chick McGee at the OrangeInsult.com Sports Center.
His injury, Ace, in all truth, tripped over his cat and severely injured his leg. He's broken 2 bones. He's
But yeah, it was a fun event. Overall, very nice event. And again, lots going on with Roku. Those products, at least the streaming sticks, are in stores on May 6th. So available then if you need an upgrade. There you have it. All right, 888-742-4101. The website for the show.
Yeah, that's a good one. Finally a good one after 2 weeks.
whatsoever attached to this event, which is Pretty interesting for a guy who's
Screw you
constantly
all.
talking about accountability and taking the brunt of your own consequences and stuff like that. But also because of this,
just to have a lawyer start this stuff for several $1,000s. So I would start with whatever regulatory agency deals with car dealerships.
Himself, man, because he was bleeding and they got off it kind of quickly. If that was intentional, they would have stayed on it. There's no question about that. From there, we go to Taker addressing the ministry. They're
Listen, turn it up to 5th gear, that this is how we really hate each other. So that feud,
this is how we hate each other.
It should have been that they're beating the fuck out of each other.
As soon as you get to a place where you stop, offending one person, other people are offended. It was kind of like that when they were going to that Pacific Islander or whatever it was, campaign on Critical Role or whatever, and then it wasn't enough because you didn't include this and that. It's never enough.
Yeah, so what happens with, or it was like Aztec or something.
Like, I'm not going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to you in the same promo. You couldn't even wait a week for McAfee to petition the board or The Rock to make the match.
And the fact that he said it's a sanctioned match, the whole thing should be unsanctioned. That a fucking announcer cannot
all right.
hold the champion under WWE.
Looks like we got Price is Right loser horn moment.
There for a middleman, and there's not going to be any incentive for anybody to become a middleman because there's not a lot of money in this stuff to begin with. Not anymore. Not like there used to be, because a lot of it's not selling. The new stuff is not selling like it used to. Where the money is in having collectibles and things.
The diehard fan is going to go back and look at all that stuff. And I mean, I have actually had several people say what I have said for some time. You guys from the 80s and early 90s had better matches than what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
And that's, oh my gosh, and everything. But, Vince was never actually a wrestler. And so, you can,
It's based. So here's something that's a divergence from that, but also change of pace talking about this as opposed to all the gay scout. In closing, we will return to the red thread that we started with about Raccoon. This time with Bettinger actually saying the only bad thing she was showing was we need you on our team. One, human protections on a game you're working on or have been offered a job on. It's not as hard as you might think. Contact our organizing team for more information. So they got this whole social media toolkit petition they want you to sign. Pro cosplayers would be that. If you are supportive of the strike, figure out a way to combine your support for the strike with your favorite characters.
Essays. Ooh, that was rather impressive spot of blood right there.
Welcome back to Rich on Tech.
Holy cow!
Talking technology with you. We're going to get to the feedback in just a moment.
The planes have been flying lately.
Oh, here we go.
Real ideas are standing out on the wing.
Yeah. And these things are flying through the sky, and I
chunk of spaghetti there.
I said, this is an omen. We're about to go down.
Short week.
This just happens every
I'm excited for
night.
anything.
Because we have on that Friday, next Friday, we have a show here called Run.
Do I?
Oh, yeah. Yes, you do. Yes, you're
off to the right.
Up against a divorce lawyer, Kevin.
And his family, and of course he was understandably a little upset when he was streaming the same day that happened. And iDubbbz, in his manipulative way, he
like the Alex Kidd in the high-tech world, even though that was supposed to be like, it was like a princess game in Japan, but they...
That sound like the guy sucked.
It's some debris out there, some spaghetti out there.
Again,
and
I'm like,
wow.
Oh shit,
Ouch.
I gotta bring the
Yikes.
freaking car in.
You almost can't see that because of the shadow of the bridge.
Plus, Mr. Russo, we're into the
surprise!
Before WrestleMania happened last year, and I know you remember this. And I said, hey, it's great, that the finish is
gotten bigger.
But what happens when they finish the story?
Crazy ass people and the unions. Who wouldn't want to do that?
I think the unions and the crazy people are the biggest part. But yeah.
Yes. Let's.
Hell, we go. You don't have to see what they were doing. I'm going to call the police. Never mind. Thank you very much. Good for you. special show.
So how many streamers am I going to get this week?
I watched them play, and it's like, well, the reason proper teams are a well-oiled machine and they don't really let
Not
teams
often
breathe,
I get
you
to
know,
pass
so
streamers.
they had one game where they let the team come back a little bit, but
The business and, you know, Flair was established and coming up. When I started working at WCW, man, Steiner
Good
outright
one.
hated Ric Flair.
Hot is very bold. If you were going to be drinking the coffee out of the pot, you might want to add some hot water to water it down.
I'm asking you to look back 40 years ago. I get it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you know, obviously, you want to do your very, very best. You know,
Oh my God, it's getting longer as he goes down the road.
with the guy who's paying you.
That's resources, because there are cases where several cases.
Whoa,
where
wow.
X or whatever, you know, citizen journalists, podcasters were ahead of the curve. They actually got
Took the
story
wrong
right,
exit?
and it was the mainstream media that didn't. Now, I'm not
Oh
saying
my
it happened
God,
all
he's
the
still
time,
going.
But I've seen it happen more and more the last couple of years, especially because there's such hubris and arrogance in mainstream media.
Yeah.